In this video, we are going to repeat the whole process of making our photo look beautiful.
This video is brought to you by OppiePie's Academy.
With the threshold and the levels adjustment layer, because I know it might be a bit a lot to take in one bite. So let me just repeat the whole process. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate the layer. So I'm going to use the Ctrl-J on my keyboard, and I'm going to turn the threshold levels, the threshold layer on, just like so. And again, I'm simply going to move the slider to the left to find the darkest spot in our image. By the way, you might be tempted, if I just turn this guy off, to just turn on the levels and let your eye guide you and maybe try to find the darkest spot just by looking at your image. And trust me, you may be, well, if I just click on this guy, you may see results that are actually not good results. You may, well, your eye can fool you in telling you which spot in your image is actually the darkest. I think it's best to just leave it up to the software, up to the threshold layer in this case. So I'm going to turn it back on. I'm going to double click on it, and maybe let us just bring it a bit more to the left, and I can see that this guy to the right, the spot to the right, should be the darkest one. So I'm going to use this guy. And by the way, you don't have to always use the color sampler tool, but for starters, it might be easier for you. If you get like really good at this technique, you could simply just turn the levels on, just like so. Get the black marker right here. Turn the threshold level off, and I think that we are safe to click somewhere here to establish our black point, just like so. And we can do the same with the lightest point. So I'm going to just turn the levels off for now. I'm going to turn the threshold layer on, and I'm going to find the lightest spot in our image. Let me just zoom back out. So I'm simply going to increase maybe it a bit more. So I think that it should be somewhere here. So I'm just gonna zoom in real close. I'm gonna go back to my threshold, to my levels layer, and now I think I can turn the threshold level layer off, and it's this spot right here. So I'm simply going to sample maybe this a bit of white color, just like so. So let us see what is the final result. So this was the original, and these are our adjustments. But again, we can always adjust the contrast, maybe play around with some other maybe spots in our image that you think that might give you a better result. And I actually encourage you to experiment with this technique, especially with the threshold, to find your darkest and your lightest spot in your image. So there you go. This is how easily you can correct colors, contrast, and white balance of any image. So just remember to find the darkest and the lightest spot in your image using the threshold level, using the threshold layer. So I'm simply going to double click on it. Remember to simply move the slider to the left to find the darkest spot, and then to the right to find the lightest spot. And then just grab the levels adjustment layer, and with these markers, with these samplers, just mark the darkest and the lightest spot in your image to correct the contrast, the color balance, and white balance. And you can always adjust these sliders to increase the contrast if you wish so. So in the next videos, we are going to learn how to add that very trendy, vintage, retro look to your photos. So keep watching.